you noticed that when you walk down the drugstore aisle, every product promises to reduce those wrinkles? But what really works? A dermatologist tells all. Proper skincare is important whether you're dealing with a skincare problem or not, because as we age, our skin changes and loses vital components that keep our skin hydrated and wrinkle-free. And let's not forget, the skin is the largest organism that we have, and people tend to forget that.
That is correct. It is our largest organ.
It is our largest organ. Now, when do you begin to see signs of aging skin?
Well, that really depends on a lot of things, because aging is not just intrinsic aging. Aging is extrinsic as well, and that depends on how much sleep you get, where you live, where you're living a stressful life, how much sun you've gotten, because sun produces 80% of what we think of as aging.
So would you say a lot of South Floridians age quicker?
Yes, I would say, although I think the message is getting through that really the sun is not our friend, although we need a little bit because it's through the sunshine that hits our skin that we make vitamin D.
Right. Okay, so what are some of the common things when people are asking for when they come in terms of the aging skin? I mean, what are you seeing?
Right. So what we see with skin aging is the changes that mostly sun is what happens is you start getting freckles and discolorations in the skin. You get little tiny cutaneous blood vessels, particularly the face and the neck. People, you think about rednecks. Rednecks are due to how much sun somebody has had.
Right.
And this is an injury. So many people, they start seeing that their skin looks tanned and thickened. So when you look at an individual who's had a lot of sun and they smile, you'll see very deep, deep wrinkles.
I don't want to smile for you. The message finally got to me, but I don't want to smile for you.
Right.
You'll
so
me.
The depth of wrinkles really has a lot to do with how much sun that you've got.
So that's first indicator, the wrinkles.
Then intrinsic aging is different. That is something every one of us goes through, and it happens gradually over time. And what happens is actually there are bony changes that occur, where our bone starts to be reabsorbed, and so as this bone, our jawline, gets to be reabsorbed, it doesn't hold the skin quite as tight. So things start dropping and sagging, and that's why we all get these little jowls.
We love these?
And the other thing that happens is that there are layers of fat, and these layers of fat start to shrink. And as that happens, then not only do they shrink, they kind of move. So as some of these fat pads move, we get these little sausages here, and then we get this trough that occurs. And of course, as it shrinks, again, it's not holding things up, so things start to sag. So we see sagging.
And we have a graphic showing the skin at different ages. And I want you to walk us through this, doctor. This is really interesting. So we have skin at 35, 45, and look at that at 55.
Right. And so here's how I look at it, is that you have, if you look at the bone as being the structural foundation, and then on top of it, we have the dermis, which has elastin and collagen and all the nice little connective tissue stuff.
Right.
That is sort of like our drywall and our plaster. And then, of course, the final would be the wallpaper or the paint, and that's the top layers of skin. And so what happens as we age is that the foundation starts to crumble. And as the foundation crumbles, it doesn't hold up the drywall as well, and the drywall starts to crumble.
Now the wallpaper starts to peel,
and the paint cracks, and that's what happens, and that's why we end up getting wrinkles.
That's an interesting comparison because it's absolutely true. But so why does it happen? Are any of this reversible as to why we lose that as we age? Can we get it back?
Well, there are all sorts of processes that occur, and part of it is that things start to shut down. And in women particularly, when we lose estrogens, all sorts of things happen. So there are things we can do because we want to stimulate these cells called fibroblasts that are responsible for making things like collagen and elastin. And you can do that by injuring them. And what we end up doing very often is that we cause an injury that will get our own skin to start healing.
Right.
Just like we cut ourselves, we heal.
Right.
And so we want to get and provoke that.
Right, we want to induce that collagen.
Right, and there's a lot of things that we can do that will do that. Right. And the other things that we can do is we can put things into the skin to revolumize, and that's where all the fillers come in, and there's a whole slew of them now, and we keep getting Me Too's, but some of the Me Too's are getting better because they're for different levels of the skin.
What's the Me Too's?
You know, the first one was the Juvederm products,
gotcha.
right? And now it goes on and on and on.
Right.
There are new ones coming. There's going to be a lot more new ones. And the same thing with the botulinum toxins. And they work just to relax the facial muscles of expression. So a lot of the wrinkles we get is just because we're expressive. I'm very expressive.
Right.
So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get wrinkles in my forehead, and I'm going to get my smile lines, the crow's feet, because that's just normal and natural. And you don't want to take that away.
No.
You just don't want them to get very severely deep.
Absolutely. Now, for a few tips for managing wrinkles, the American Academy of Dermatology has some tips.
Reduce the signs of aging by following these tips from dermatologists. Wear sunscreen every day, since the sun's rays can accelerate signs of aging. Use a sunscreen or facial moisturizer that offers broad-spectrum protection and has an SPF of at least 30. Be sure to apply sunscreen to all skin that is not covered by clothing. Do not tan. Getting a tan from the sun or a tanning bed exposes you to harmful UV rays that can accelerate aging, causing wrinkles, age spots, a blotchy complexion, and even skin cancer. Moisturize. Moisturizing traps water in the skin, which can help reduce the appearance of some fine lines and make your complexion look brighter and younger. Test products, even those labeled hypoallergenic. To test, dab a small amount of the product on your inner forearm twice a day for 4 to 5 days. If you do not have a reaction, it is likely safe for you to apply to your face. Also, use the product as directed. Active ingredients can do more harm than good when too much is used. Applying more than directed can cause clogged pores, a blotchy complexion, or other unwanted effects. Do not use products that sting or burn. Irritating the skin makes signs of aging more noticeable. Some products prescribed by a dermatologist may cause stinging or burning. When under a dermatologist's care, this can be safe and effective. Limit the number of products. Using too many products on your skin, especially more than one anti-aging product, tends to irritate the skin. This often makes signs of aging more noticeable. Shop smart. People often think that the more expensive a product is, the more effective it will be. This is not always the case. There are some very effective, affordable products in the skincare aisles of your local stores. Give the product time to work. While a moisturizer can immediately plump up fine lines, most products take at least 6 weeks to work. Sometimes it can take 3 months.
If after following these tips, you still do not see the results you expected, you may want to consult a dermatologist.
From anti-aging to eczema, we have plenty of helpful videos from the Health Channel. Just visit our website, allhealthtv.com.